Raul Malo's voice didn't just shape a band, it reshaped American music. But behind the Grammys, the sold-out tours, and the genre-defying sound was a story of unstoppable ambition, cultural pride, private battles, and a final chapter the world never saw coming. Before we begin, remember to subscribe so you never miss a deep dive into the lives of the artists who changed music forever. Raul Malo's journey starts in Miami, Florida, where his Cuban heritage shaped every note, every melody, and every vocal run that fans would later recognize instantly. Growing up surrounded by the music of his parents' homeland, Malo pulled from boleros, rancheras, island rhythms, and classic American rock. That foundation would eventually set him apart in a country music world that had rarely seen anything like him. By 1989, that foundation turned into action. Raul co-founded a band that would soon become the Mavericks, though at the very beginning, the group performed under a different name, playing local Miami clubs and crafting their identity. Malo quickly emerged as the band's centerpiece, the lead vocalist, guitarist, and dominant songwriter. His voice could soar like a classic crooner and snap into a gritty country growl in the same breath. Industry insiders noticed immediately. This wasn't just another Southern band. This was something new. The Mavericks' early material experimented with country but also carried a heavy rockabilly pulse, a Latin undercurrent, and the swagger of old-school American roots. Malo drove that evolution. Critics and audiences alike were drawn to the band's unique sound, which refused to stay inside genre lines. Country, rock, Latin, Tejano, Americana, roots. The Mavericks fused them all, long before genre blending became the streaming era norm. Malo's Cuban background wasn't just a detail. It was the creative fuel behind the band's identity. Everything changed in 1994. The Mavericks released What a Crying Shame, the breakthrough album that elevated them from respected musicians to international stars. The record went platinum in the United States and double platinum in Canada. Suddenly, Raul Malo's voice was everywhere. Songs like Oh What a Thrill, There Goes My Heart, and the title track captured the emotional weight and old soul tone in his vocals. Fans called his voice timeless. Critics compared him to Roy Orbison. Industry executives called him one of the greatest vocalists country music had ever produced. Awards followed. The Mavericks earned a Grammy Award, 2 CMA Awards, and 3 ACM Awards. Tours expanded globally. Their concerts became legendary. Loud, colorful, dance-driven, and cross-cultural. Malo commanded the stage with a mix of charisma and raw emotion that set him apart from every other frontman of his generation. But success didn't mean predictability. When the Mavericks disbanded in the early 2000s, Malo refused to slow down. Instead, he launched a solo career that explored jazz, Latin, and classic pop influences. He also joined the Latin music supergroup Los Super 7 in 2001, further proving his range and cultural versatility. Each project highlighted a different part of his talent, showing that his voice could transcend any style. His solo era kept him active, respected, and in demand. And then, in 2012, the Mavericks officially reunited. Fans embraced them instantly. The chemistry was intact. The sound was more mature. The energy felt stronger. Over the next decade, they toured globally, released new albums, and introduced their music to a younger generation. Their final album before Malo's passing, Moon and Stars, arrived in 2024. A record packed with the emotional depth and genre fusion that defined his life's work. With more than 3 decades in the industry, Raul Malo became more than a bandleader. He became a cultural ambassador whose music represented heritage, heartache, migration, and joy. He brought Cuban flavor into Nashville's conservative landscape, widened the definition of country music, and reminded fans worldwide that great music has no border. While the stage defined his public life, Malo's personal world was firmly rooted in family. He was married to Betty Malo, also listed as Betty Fernandez Malo, and the two shared one of the longest, most stable marriages in the industry. Their marriage lasted 34 years, a rare achievement in entertainment, and one that stood unchanged until his final day. Publicly available information shows no record of a divorce, separation, or breakup. Every obituary, every family statement, and every tribute refers to Betty as his wife. Together, Raul and Betty raised 3 sons: Dino Malo, Victor Malo, and Max Malo. They kept their family life largely private, but what is known paints a picture of a tight-knit home built around music, cultural pride, and togetherness. Raul was also survived by his mother, Norma Malo, and his sister, Raul Malo. Through decades of touring, traveling, and recording, his family remained his emotional anchor, and he often credited them for grounding him through the highs and lows of fame. As his career flourished, so did his financial success. At the time of his death, Raul Malo had an estimated net worth of $10 million. This wealth was the result of decades of consistent work, platinum album sales, global tours, extensive songwriting royalties, solo albums, production credits, collaborations, licensing, and the everlasting popularity of the Mavericks catalog. Malo wasn't a celebrity chasing headlines. He was a working musician. And that work paid off over time, especially as the Mavericks' music found new life with streaming. His net worth wasn't built on flash. It was built on longevity and influence. But behind the scenes, Malo's health began to shift. In June 2024, he revealed publicly that he had been diagnosed with colon cancer. Fans initially believed he would recover. His statements sounded hopeful, and he continued creating music throughout treatment. But by September 2025, the truth became harder to hide. Malo announced that the cancer had progressed into leptomeningeal disease, known as LMD, a rare and devastating complication where cancer spreads to the membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord. LMD is aggressive and often untreatable. It affects neurological function, causing cognitive changes, headaches, severe fatigue, and physical decline. Even with treatment, the prognosis is typically poor. Malo faced the disease with the same quiet strength he brought to his music, but the progression was rapid. Touring became impossible. Public appearances slowed. Fans noticed the change but continued to send messages of support and gratitude. On December 8, 2025, Raul Malo died at the age of 60. The news was confirmed by his wife, who posted a heartfelt message on social media. Tributes poured in from across the world. Musicians, journalists, fans, and cultural organizations honored his legacy, calling him a once-in-a-generation voice, a bridge between cultures, and a pioneer who expanded the possibilities of American music. With his passing, the industry lost more than a singer. It lost a songwriter who blended worlds, a musician who refused to let mainstream expectations define him, and a cultural force whose work touched millions. Malo's sound lives on in the catalog he built, a catalog that spans country, Latin, Americana, roots, jazz, and rock. His music continues to attract new listeners, reminding them of the power of identity, heritage, and innovation. Raul Malo's legacy is simple. He made American music bigger. He carved a lane for artists who didn't fit traditional molds. He proved that culture is an asset, not a barrier. He showed that a powerful voice paired with honest songwriting can break any industry rule. His influence lives in the artists who mix genres today, the performers who are unafraid to blend tradition with experimentation. His life story remains a blueprint for any musician hoping to bring their full identity into their work. From the Miami clubs where he first performed, to the global stages where the Mavericks became icons, to the final years where he battled illness with dignity, Malo left behind a life defined by purpose, culture, and sound. For more music legends, deep dives, and artist stories, remember to subscribe to the channel. Raul Malo's voice may be gone, but his music continues to echo. In the hearts of fans, in the sound of modern Americana, and in the legacy he built over 60 unforgettable years.